welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Worlds Without Number tonight, this afternoon, this evening, whenever the hell this is. Continuing our science fiction or sci-fi hex crawl. Welcome to the Husk. We are like 5 episodes in now, so this is like our fifth episode, I believe. So we've gotten through like 1 or 2 little jobs here and there. Last time around, we did some home stuff where we got to learn a little bit about where these folks are living. So if there's anyone in the channel, thank you for joining us. Tool to Twitch, thank you so much for the sub. We appreciate it. We saw it. And I just want to thank you again. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for checking us out there or on VOD after the fact. We do appreciate everyone who looks at all of our stuff, wherever and whenever it is. Thank you very much. Other things we do here on the channel, we play on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So Saturdays, we're going to be sticking with this Worlds Without Number game for the foreseeable future. Mondays, we alternate between Things from the Flood, which will be this coming Monday, and Alien, both free league games. And then on Fridays, we do Delta Green, where we're playing through the Impossible Landscapes campaign that just released this year on PDF and soon on physical form. So before we get too far into playing our game, I'm going to let everybody go ahead and just introduce their characters. Then we'll do a little summary about what happened recently, because we were off last week. Yeah, so Ashley, who are you?
I'm Octavia. I am a warrior / skin shifter. I have some pretty cool foci. I'm Baphomian, so that means I'm like a goat person. And then I have some cool combat things, like I'm a close combatant and I die hard. And then I picked a new art, like change form, because I skin shift last time when we leveled up. So now I have war form. So I gain a flat +2 bonus to all melee hit rolls in this shape, and I can use my form hit bonuses even in my humanoid body. It's blatantly combatant in appearance, however. So like I'm super. I imagine Octavia just kind of like doubles in height, so she gets really tall, and then ripped.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're a little terrifying. Yeah.
But I'm dumb.
You're dumb.
And I love to make friends.
Your stats aren't so bad. You're not very wise. We were talking about beforehand. Your wisdom is your dumb stat. You don't make wise decisions, maybe.
I don't, and I play it pretty well.
I think so too.
Say.
Yeah, we should also note, by the way, that we got tokens. We got custom tokens made from a friend of ours, Logan. I just dropped the link in our chat. I'll put it in the description on our YouTube vids when this goes to YouTube next week. But yeah, he's been working on some tokens for us the past few weeks, and we have our versions of him here, so you can see kind of what each one of these people look like. You got Octavia, you got Weiss, and you got a Sonika. So we really appreciate all the work that he did on them. And if you want to catch more of his work, if you want to do another commission for yourself, go ahead and hit the link for Old Man Logan. Speaking of old men, let's go to Long. How's it going, man? Did you know Long is 67 years old? It's true. Anyway, who are you?
Yeah, I'm playing Vanilla Vice. He's Blood Priest duelist, and it's got like a healing background. He's the healer of the group. He's Krastakar, so he's like really bony structured, and he's just trying to spread the good of the blood god in this world.
Yeah, we should dig into building your blood god stuff out a bit, because we also learned last time around that you have a desire to. There's apparently a disease. Do you remember the name of the disease?
Yeah, we called it 7X's for now.
The 7X's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently small marks appear on people's limbs and stuff like that. That's how and you're trying to figure out a cure for it. So I wasn't going to put a disease running rampant through the apocalyptic city of Big Husk. But then Long went ahead and said there is one. So now there's a disease running rampant through the apocalyptic ancient
Thanks, Long.
Just what
city
we needed.
Big Husk. So yeah, there you go. Right on. And finally, we've got Melissa, Sonika. Who are you?
Yeah, so I am playing Sonenka. She is, her background is actually Carter, which we didn't necessarily talk about all that much, but that is her background. So she's a Sidawan Beastmaster Vowed.
Yeah, so basically a human, just like kind of gray, desaturated, as you can see. And you got your little, that thing on your neck there, that little, what do we call it? A mod implant. Yeah.
Yep.
Lets you communicate with animals. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. So those are the three primary characters. And let's talk a little bit about last session. So far, I mean, you guys know each other because you used to be neighbors, and then something from the sky, from space, crashed and destroyed your neighborhood. And you all had to scramble around and find other places to live. You had to go and do a different job for a person by the name of Ruvala. You went out into the waste districts. You did some reconnoitering, and when you came back, you found new places to live last time. We got to meet some of your friends. We got to meet Sonika's brother Petya, and who's expecting a child with his wife Galina, something like that.
Galina.
Yeah, we got everyone kind of did some home stuff, and then you got a new job. You got a new job by a furkin family by the name of Breezels. Furkin are just like swarms of small rodent creatures, if you want to think about it in those terms. And they all just sort of function as one singular entity, but they wander around, and because we're the entire setting that we're doing is like this ancient alien mega city, and that's now inhabited by a bunch of what would effectively is alien refugees. There's a lot of like tech and a lot of industry that has been lingering around either above the surface or below that most people don't even know what they do, because whoever built this city is not here. No one knows where they're at. And so this is just a bunch of people who are inhabiting it. And the powers that be, the people who kind of run the city now, they send different groups of individuals, specifically these furkin, because they're so small, route running through the subterranean tunnels beneath the city, looking for stuff, just looking for new things, because it's, from what you can tell, whoever did build this city built it as far subterranean as they did above ground. So they built deep into the earth. So you basically, were hanging around one of the bars. I think it might have been High Bar. It might have been one of the new ones, Rat Feast. No, Rat Feast isn't a bar. It might have been the High Bar you were at. And you got this gig to go find a missing furkin family that went into this section of the city that has not yet been released for public use. So it's been covered, but the powers that be, they're keeping it under wraps. They don't like it when people just randomly go into a section of the city, because who knows what kind of weird tech they're going to accidentally trigger and suddenly stuff explodes. And so they keep it on a very close wrap. And they can't seem to find their friends, and so they wanted to pay you to sneak in there. There's a couple different ways you could have gone, and you decided you were going to take the smoke tunnels, which is underneath the town. You're going to go to a different district and kind of sneak underneath. It was kind of a dangerous place for a couple different reasons, one of which there's smoke everywhere, and then there's these creatures of what we think are smoke that wander around in it. So you traveled down beneath the city. You started to go down this huge shaft above some kind of warm geyser. You moved through what looked like ruined former tunnels of some kind. Looks like they were passageways, part buildings, basements, subfloors, things like that. And then you eventually opened up onto a fairly large cavern. And this cavern had within it this lake about 100 feet across or so that was filled with like these giant charcoal briquettes and these, lava type substance that was just sort of floating around there. There was like an island in the middle. There's somebody sitting there, almost looked like they were fishing. And as you got to the edge of this large lake to call across into that island to alert the person, something erupted from below the surface of the water or liquid and attacked Octavia. So that's where we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead and move us over then to a map. Let's go ahead and do that, so you can kind of see a little bit of what we're dealing with. Right, how's that look? Okay, so just to kind of walk you through what you're seeing then. Obviously, we've got the three of you are down here to the southwest. Octavia, we're saying you're right up against the edge because you're the one that this is happening to. This big old Charcolodon, I don't know, we had a couple different ideas for names, but basically a large, like kind of great white or bigger type, almost like shark creature, erupts and bursts through the surface up towards Octavia, and then you had this other individual that was sitting on this island in the middle of this lake. Any questions on any of this? We got it. We get the layout making sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get a little combat music going so you guys can kiss your asses goodbye. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put us into initiative. So let's put us there. And then I can roll it all at once, which I love. Okay. So, makes perfect sense then that the Charcolodon goes first.
Uh-oh.
And so we described it more cinematically at the end of last session, but we're going to describe it legitimately now as they leap up and snap out into the direction of Octavia. So Octavia, I'm assuming that you have your shield. Would you have your shield out? Would you, just be fair, would you have your shield out if you're wandering through the tunnels and everything?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Which I should probably reactivate stuff because I think and it's
Okay.
already activated.
Should already be there. Okay. Roll my. Okay. So this thing's gonna, with these massive maw, and you can see dripping from the maw are like little flecks of some sort of red-like substance, blood, magma. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But they're gonna reach out and they're gonna bite. Sorry, I should have put on a private, but it hits AC 23. What's your AC, Ashley? Is it?
Oh gosh.
Is AC? Yeah. So it leaps up out of this and crunches down. You all watch as Octavia holds up the shield to block this massive chomp, and you can see as the shield just almost snaps in half. Go ahead and take 8 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this one's pretty rough.
Uh-oh.
All right, so then the sorry, I should have begun that already. That was the. It did it again. It keeps doing that, where it's like I go to hit the begin combat and it re-rolls everything. It's so annoying. But anyway, it's fine. Octavia, you can go next.
I am going to do what was that? Fighting withdrawal.
Okay.
So disengage without taking opportunity attacks. Doesn't actually move me, and then I'm going to use a move action to get away.
Okay. Hey, if you can, go ahead and turn your mic up just a touch when you get a chance. Okay. So you're gonna move away?
Yes, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
How much damage did it end up doing?
8 points.
8.
Yeah, I have 5 left. I had 13.
Oh.
This thing's it's a big honker.
Yeah, I would like to totally disengage as much as we can.
All right, you should have control of your token if you want to move. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, so then either of you can go, but don't forget that when you're on the same side, like you're the three of you, you can go in whatever order you want. So Weiss or Sonika, you're welcome to go next. Like it says Sonika on here, but if there's something you're ready to do, go ahead and do it.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know, is this thing like in some sort of liquid or is it like on the surface?
Go ahead and roll a notice test. And you can do this. This is just free action. Just roll notice. Notice wisdom.
7.
Okay. So you can see that it is this. There's this what looks like a kind of a slush-filled lake of large, chunky, black molten rock mixed with some kind of sort of orange-brown liquid. And this thing has erupted, and as it burst through it, like all these different rocks were thrown in several different directions as it leapt up towards Octavia. So it looks like it was literally moving about within this substance, like half solid, half liquid. You also notice that it has what looks like these small, dumpy little like arms and legs, but you almost can't even see them because they're so small compared to the body itself.
Okay. On that, I just want to retreat to like the further edge of the room, sort of thing.
Okay, go ahead and move
away from it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just use movement.
Yeah,
for
go ahead.
My action as well.
All right, so run where you want to run. Perfect. Sonika, what do you want to do?
Well, if Vice is running, then Snenka is definitely going to run.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come
How
back.
much is a square again?
5 feet.
And I'll try to.
I can be like here.
I'll try to throw a dagger.
Okay. So it
See
probably
if
would make
there's
more
anything.
sense to
Throw
throw it
and then-
first and then
yeah.
run. But yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Slurdy salamander. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hits an AC of 1. That's a. That's not good.
What
That's
kind
not
of roll
good.
is that?
A bad one. You rolled a natural 2. Says you throw a knife out in the direction of this thing, which is using those tiny little dumpy claws to cling to the edge of this pool, and you can see its head's like little bits of like Octavia's clothing are like burning away between the teeth of this thing, and you throw this little knife, and it just like clinks harmlessly off its like chitinous exterior, and that's its turn.
Oh, that was disappointing.
Okay, it's already gone, so I'm not gonna give it a second turn. That would be crazy. Like on the same time. I will, however, have this person go. This other individual. Now, when you came up, you saw this person sitting on like a rock or a bench or something in the middle of this lake, this little island area, and when they turned around after you called and you got to the edge of this lake, they immediately called out to Octavia, "No, wait, no, what you?" And then it was just too late as the thing exploded out of the lake here. Okay, so this one then is going to. Okay, you see this one throw a blade similar to what Sonika just did. So he's going to try that. AC 13? I don't remember what the AC of this thing was. That's going to be a miss, unfortunately, with AC 13. And then you'll notice that like the big Charcolodon turns its head in the direction of where this other person was. You can see they just sort of rotate around slowly as I'm trying to do this more quickly, but it's not letting me do it quickly, so it's just going this speed. And then this person will like hop from one of the islands to the next, as if they're coming to the northern side of the room. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and reset initiative on this one. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. And now it's gonna be its turn. So there's 2 potential ways it can go right now. We don't necessarily know which direction it wants to go, so I'm going to have it roll a little instinct to see if it makes a decision on one way or the other. I'm just trying to get this to center a little bit better for us so that everyone can be seen. Okay. So, let's see. This is going to be a private roll. Okay. Quite literally, charge the last enemy to get its attention, which is exactly what it's going to do. It's got a movement of 30, swimming included, in burrowing. And so you're going to see this thing is going to move. Can't quite get to it with one action. So you're going to see this thing just dive back into this rocky liquid, and different stuff will explode out of it and it'll swim over. You lose sight of it for a moment. You can see the displacement in the surface of this substance that the lake is comprised of. And then eventually you see its head burst up out of the water, or out of the liquid. Right, I'm going to go ahead and just put it like right here, as if it's almost blocking the path off this little island area, as if it's going to catch this guy. And that'll be the Charcolodon's turn. This guy will go next instead. Okay. So, this little NPC who is minding their own business, not doing anything, and then Ashley had to come up and cause all sorts
All I
of
said was
ruckus.
hello.
Yes,
How's it
exactly.
going?
I'll go ahead and do I'll do an instinct. Sure. Makes sense. Reposition to get a better place to fight from. All right. You... Okay.
Oops, sorry. How do I turn that off?
You can delete it. I'll take care of it in a second. So this thing is, he's gonna swipe down and then go back to where he was. He's gonna swing with a short sword. It hits an AC of 3. That's a miss. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave it on private. And then it's going to hop back away, but this thing will get an attack off as he tries to hop back to that central island. Let's public roll this one. AC 9 will miss. Chuck, there is a fire. It's right there. It's a lake of fire. Let's see.
We're not off to a very good start here,
What did
are
you
we?
do here, Ashley?
I just clicked measurement tool
Oh, okay.
controls.
Yeah, I got it. There you go. All set.
Thank you.
Okay, so then it's your guys' turn. Any order. Octavia, Sonica, or Vice. So this thing is now... This guy is hopping from little platform to platform in the middle of this this charcoal heated lake, smoke erupting up off of it. And the three of you have backed away from the edge, and you can see that it's, even though this giant creature is no longer targeting the three of you, it is targeting this other individual. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna call the blessing of the blood gods upon us. So I'll do a little prayer, like let you bathe in the rivers of red, something like that.
Okay.
We'll all be blessed with 1 bonus to hit and to damage.
Oh, very
Plus
nice.
Nice.
+1 to hit, +1 to damage. Very good. Awesome. Do you want to move or anything?
Yeah, then I'll move afterwards, just closer.
Yeah,
around
go
the
ahead.
top here.
Go ahead and move your guy. And then it's Octavia or Sonica.
Sanenka is going to see that Octavia took a lot of damage, so she's going to try to come up here and go around to the other side here a little bit.
Oh, thanks, Chuck.
I think she can reach to there. And she'll try to throw her other dagger, see if it goes better this time. And
Go ahead and throw that other dagger. Think of this bitch. You guys have a reroll now. Chuck just threw you guys 100 bits for the Lake of Fire. I feel like, since I'm the one who put the Lake of Fire, I should probably get that reroll, but whatever.
So you said we get a +1?
+1 to your hit, and +1 to damage if you are able to get damage done. I'll say also, Sonica and Weiss, you see that there are these other small little like stepping stool islands. Like this central one is raised a little bit higher, and then you can like kind of hop from one to the next to get to the edge.
Yeah, that's
where
I'm
you guys
headed.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, so 16 will hit, and does that 5 damage include the +1 from Weiss's prayer?
No, it does not.
So it's a total of 6 damage.
Yes. And does it have an AC of 15 or less?
It does not. It has an AC
Okay,
of
so no shock
16 on the
damage.
dot, so you actually hit it right on the dot.
Woohoo!
So 6 points of damage. That is done. Absolutely. Well done. Okay.
It's all you, Octavia.
So then it's Octavia's turn, who you move. So you got your movement down. What do you want to do
Yep.
with your action?
That's a good question. I just had the combat actions up. There it goes. I have a dagger in my boot that I don't have ready, but I think I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
So next turn I can try and throw it.
Okay. Sounds good. And then that is the end of that round, and we will start a new one. I will go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these. I like doing rolls. Attack the last foe it hit and blind fury. So there's only one person it's actually hit so far, and that's Octavia.
Jeff's trying to kill me.
So I am. I want to give Logan more money so that he can make us more tokens. So
I'm broke.
if I kill your characters, we have to get new tokens. So this thing seeing has this creature, which is again about 3 feet tall and completely covered in kind of black rock. That's that figure that's hopping from stone to stone. see them like run away. They snap out, couldn't quite get to them, but then feels this blade that somehow slips between the scales of its back armor, turns its head around, and then charges in that direction, picks up the scent of old Octavia. Let me see.
Young and dumb.
I can't. Don't worry. I can't actually get to Octavia, so I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna have it move up, and then because it can't reach Octavia, it makes perfect sense for it just to attack Sonika. I think.
Hey, wait, that's me.
I think it makes perfect sense to do that. So
I can grab my dagger back.
Yeah, exactly.
Stab it again. Thanks for bringing that back.
Oh, speaking of Logan, there he is. There's the man himself. We were just talking about you. I think we have a little command. Was it WN?
Tokens.
Got it. So, I'm about to kill the very characters that you just drew for us. I'm such an asshole. All right, so this one's going to bite down on Sonika. Public roll. 15 points of damage.
Holy shit.
I'm assuming you're down, right?
Let's see. Yes, I only have a 15 AC.
Yeah, so you guys watch as this thing crunches down on Sonika and she falls. Don't worry, we're playing in rolls where you're not dead instantly or anything like that, so you're okay. Assuming you guys can do something to this thing. So, geez.
Like she's reaching, like, oh, cool. My dagger came back to me, and like sort of starting to reach out her arm, and then she goes down.
It is this other person's turn, who will. God, this is a long range for them. Oh my goodness! I just killed Melissa's character, just like that. This one's gonna hop. He's actually just gonna try to get all the way over to you guys. Is I think what it's going to do. He's charging in. I think that's about right. Okay, Octavia, your turn. You just saw Sonika fall.
Yeah, so it makes sense, I think, that I warform. So you guys watch as Octavia just kind of like sees now Sonenka, who is my housemate, and I have bonded with you greatly.
You're invading my family and everything.
Yeah, so I just kind of like Hulk out and everything. So you just my third eye officially just like pops open. I start screaming as I grow. Like, you guys have never seen this before. This isn't something I've been able to do. And suddenly I'm like twice my height and I'm ripped. And I am going to, oh God, I'm gonna hit this thing with my sword.
Sonenka would have been impressed if she could see.
If you could see, I'm just making sure.
If I were conscious and could,
Okay, that doesn't help me. Die hard if you gain an extra 2 minimum hit points per level. Oh, okay. That's good to know. So I have 7. Because my thing got messed up. Okay, so I'm gonna hit. I'm just gonna do it.
Go for it.
You're kill him. You're just gonna kill him.
I have +3.
You got this. Easy peasy. That is a hit. That's a hit.
So, with the, I have
total damage.
Longs +1 to my damage.
Okay.
Plus my 2 bonus to all melee hit rolls. So +3. So 11 damage.
So melee hit you get. So your bonus goes to damage as well as I know Weiss's does, but does your bonus go to damage or just to the melee hit roll?
It says melee hit.
So melee hit is like 2 hit.
2 hit.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So that's 9 damage then, because you still get Weiss's bonus. So that's 9 damage. That's really good. So you come up, you claw through it. You could start ripping apart some of these scales that are on the back of this creature, and stuff just starts spurting out, this sort of bright orange liquid just flailing all over the place as I knock my hat off. And it's standing over top of Sonika, and you can see that Sonika has a horrible wound in her side, and she is officially mortally wounded currently. Okay. So, Weiss, have you gone yet this round? I don't believe so.
Not yet.
Okay, you're up.
So I'll follow Octavia and attack it as well. Just the dagger.
Be careful. It kills you when you stab it with a dagger.
All right.
So
if
dagger.
Okay, yeah. Step up, try to stab that thing in there.
That's a lot of things.
You rolled you rolled a natural 20, so you hit. Why do you have 4 +1s?
One for. It's the bonuses I get. One from Dex, one from favorite weapon.
I believe it. I'm just curious if it rolls weird sometimes. A natural 20,
Yeah.
you're gonna hit, so you're fine. Like, and it
That's
does.
what happened when I hit the dagger.
Okay, so 3 total damage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, this thing is not looking good. One more good hit might do it. Unfortunately, that's all your turns, because Sonika, you're down.
Mm-hmm.
So Sonika, you are mortally wounded. A mortally
Okay.
wounded creature is helpless, unable to do anything but scream, writhe, or lie unconscious. At the end of the 6th round, after you were downed, and you were down this round, they will die. They'll die instantly if they take more damage. So if I'm a dick, or the instinct roll just happens to say I should attack you again, or then you just die. So if she takes more damage,
Sure.
or if Weiss just trips and falls and accidentally lands on her, she's dead. An ally can attempt to stabilize a mortally wounded companion. It's usually an int heal or a dex heal skill check, and it requires a main action. The DC for this is 8 plus the number of full rounds since the target was downed. The healer lacks any useful medical implements. The difficulty for the skill check is increased by 2. Weiss, I'm assuming since you've been building healer, you're probably fine for that. Octavia, you would need to use Weiss's tools if that's the case. Only one ally can try to stabilize a target in any given round, though others can attempt to aid their skill check, and a failed check can be reattempted the next round. Once stabilized, the target recovers with 1 HP after 10 minutes of rest and can rise and act normally thereafter, but they are now counted as frail and will remain frail until they've had at least 1 week of bed rest. So frail PCs cannot heal damage through natural healing, meaning like getting a good night's rest, and will die immediately if they're brought to 0 HP again. So hopefully you can save her. If you can't, she is in pretty rough shape. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next round. So you're down to 5. Keep track of that, Melissa. We have 5 rounds left. Okay. Top of the round. This thing has taken some damage. Some serious damage. I'm going to actually have it do a morale roll first to see if it wants to stay in the fight. Okay. Wow, I just rolled double 6s. Okay. All right. So it is now very clearly sort of bleeding this bright orange goo out of its side. It looks around and it sees this beast of a woman thing standing
Like
next to
werewolf
it.
goat.
Yeah. And it's going to turn around at this point, and it's going to dive back into this lake, having realized that it might be able to get 1 or 2 of you. I'm trying to think if I want to be the dick, though. I think I want to be a dick.
You want to see if the dice rolls?
I did. I think I'm going to try to... Yeah. It's just falling down to instinct now. It's going to hop back into the lake here. Okay. And then I'm curious to see... It's going to try to see if it can grab Sonika as well. As it hops back in, and it's going to, like, with one of these, like a little lift of its head, it's going to see if it's just going to try to pull it to the side.
So can I snap attack?
Absolutely you can. And you guys might want to do this, because Yeah.
Because I must have a main action impending or available. Sacrifice that main action to make a melee range attack at a -4 penalty to hit roll.
Oh, hey Dave, how's it going? Oh, thank you very much for those gift subs, Logan. Dave, I think I might be killing one of our characters right now. We're really, really close. It's sort of up to Ashley. If Ashley can get a hit off here, Melissa lives.
That's where the
If
responsibility
Ashley
lies.
can't get this hit, this thing's probably gonna kill her. Weiss, you can. So it's so at this point we're starting a new round. So there's this thing called snap attack. Do you want to explain that, or did you do that while I was?
I did kind of explain it, but I can say it again.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
snap attack with a readied weapon, a combatant can rush their attack. I have to sacrifice my main action to make a melee or range attack at a -4 penalty to my hit roll. But currently, since I have a bonus +3 to hit, it's just a -1. to
Okay.
me.
Couple other things. Chuck previously gave us 100 bits, so you guys have a banked reroll. Tool to Twitch just dropped 100 bits. We have a second banked reroll, and then you know what? Like, Old Man Logan just threw out a gift sub. Take another reroll. You got 3
Okay.
rerolls banked at this point. And I actually think I'll give you. Remember, 1 reroll per person per scene. So Octavia, if you
Yep.
use it now, you can't use it for the rest of the combat.
Yep.
So go ahead.
I'll snap attack as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
because they have to be resolved simultaneously.
Go ahead. Both of you go ahead and roll your attacks. And if you want to use those rerolls, go right ahead.
I do.
Oh no. That's a miss. That's a miss, Weiss, as you slash out as this thing hops back down in. Octavia, you miss as well. Oh my gosh,
I'm
no.
gonna use my reroll.
Okay.
Janeka
Oh
is
no,
just playing possum.
Octavia. No.
I reroll as well, I guess.
Okay.
Oh boy.
No
Come
pressure.
on, roll one.
Do you get your +1 from your thingamajig? From your?
No.
You don't get your
I myself to
+1?
look for allies.
That's a miss.
Fuck.
Okay. That was your attack actions. You have one last chance, Melissa, and it's if this random NPC decides to come help you. If not, that means we're going to get all the way around to the Charcolodon's turn again, and it's going to be able to descend into this fiery pit with you. Got it?
This is how I see the world.
So it will charge us. This is literally the last chance that you have to go ahead and survive. All right, I'm gonna put it on public roll. Okay. Let's see. It's got a short. Okay, so he'll use his short sword. He's got +3 to hit.
Okay,
His chance.
this is good. That's how you do it.
There you go with a 20. He comes charging in, slashes down. It just
You have to
grinds.
marry him now.
What's that?
You have to marry him now. That's how this works.
And you can just see as he's just like kind of does the whole blade twist right into the forehead of this thing as it just and he's just riding on top of it now. And this thing just and as it had just kind of cradled Sonika in its mouth when it was getting ready to like clump on and dive down into the lake, this guy comes up and stabs it right in the head, and it just all right. 4 rounds, however, have passed. Weiss, do you try to go like we don't have to keep specific, but you have to make a test now. This one's a lot easier though. So if you just want to make it either an int heal or a dex heal to go stabilize Sonika. This guy's just
Yeah, I'll go help out.
All right, go ahead. Roll your roll your heal.
Int heal.
Int heal or dex heal, whichever you prefer.
By the way, magical healing. A character that is healed by any amount of magical healing automatically loses the mortally wounded or frail qualities
That's
and
true.
can immediately rise.
That's true. Do you
So
have
if you
do you have magical healing?
healing? That would
Yeah, I
be
have merciful
cool.
healing.
Okay, yeah, you can do that too if you want. Yeah.
So how does effort work exactly? If I already committed it to the bless?
Okay, so is the effort for your bless committed per scene? How do
The
you commit your
description
effort?
should say.
Yeah.
Oh, it says commit for the day. So is it used?
Oh.
So if you've committed it
Oh.
for the day, that means you can't use magical healing then,
Okay.
because you shouldn't have any more effort. I don't think.
Right, I don't.
Okay, so you have to do it the old-fashioned
You
way.
have to do it the old-fashioned way. All
All right,
right.
let's go. Roll them sleeves up. Gotta scrub in. It's only a DC 8. You should be fine. I don't see how you could. Oh no. Oh no.
Can I assist?
Oh no. I mean, it's too late for that. You gotta
Yeah,
say
do
it
like
ahead of time. Is that a fail? I'm assuming it's a DC 8.
It would be.
It would be.
Is
I understand
there a
the conditional.
butt? Is there a butt there?
No, it's a fail.
You still have time, so
Yourself is unable to do anything.
yeah. So only one ally can try to stabilize a target in any given round, though others can attempt to aid their skill check, and a failed check can be reattempted on the next round. So
Dex
we're
heal.
we're keeping rounds. 3 rounds left. So Weiss, you want to go ahead and do an you want to assist here, Octavia?
Yeah, at this time I'll
You have to
assist.
roll it though. So go ahead and roll. I think you have to hit like a 6 or something. Let's go ahead and roll for yourself, and then we'll see if you. I think it's anyone.
For the assist I roll?
I can't remember. I could have sworn there was something about like you have to roll for aid. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I thought you had to do it yourself.
Did you have any useful medical implements?
He does. He's got
So-
the healer kit stuff.
The difficulty for the skill check is increased by
By 2 if you
Or
don't
I think
have it.
it's-
So if he didn't have it, it would be DC 10.
Yeah,
But it's DC
yeah.
8 because he has it.
Got it. Okay.
For aiding, they just roll a skill check.
It's actually
based on
not
what
8
makes sense.
anymore. It's DC 8 plus the number of full rounds since the target was down.
Okay, so it would have been DC 10.
Oh,
It's DC
So now
10.
we're shooting for DC 11.
Now we're shooting for DC 11.
Okay.
jeez.
You do have a reroll left.
Okay, are we re-rolling again? It's a new round.
And it's and it's
You
only
never know.
once-
You can burn a reroll here to keep it at DC 10 first, and then you can move on
Oh.
to DC 11 if you want. And
Let's
so,
do that then.
but Octavia was trying to assist. So Octavia, roll your skill check to see if you can give him the aid.
10.
Okay, that's a success. So that gives you an extra bonus. So go ahead and Weiss roll your check.
It's only one ally that can attempt it per round.
Yeah, I know. She was
Okay.
she was
I'm
aiding.
assisting.
Oh God.
Hey, I got
She should have done it.
I
Okay.
should have just done it.
All right. DC 11 now.
This shouldn't be this hard. What is this? What am
I
I
thought
doing?
you were a healer.
Oh my god. Alright. Last one that I
I'm
have.
gonna assist again.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and roll.
Just assisting.
Hmm. Oh, with 13.
There we go.
Oh my
There
gosh,
we
the clutch
go.
roll.
Melissa's like, this is really how I die.
know,
So Weiss, what does this look like? Holy crap! I don't see.
Yeah.
Like I thought she was gone. Yeah. So Weiss, what does this look like as you
I'm like
save her?
shaking out my medical bag, like none of this is working. Why is it not working? And then I have Octavia come up, just dab around my eyes. The heat is making me sweat. I can't see. And then I finally find this liquid that'll help her.
Okay. All right. And so, Sonika, you for the first for a couple minutes now, you're still technically like kind of unconscious, sort of ish. Like you're no longer mortally wounded. In 10 minutes, you'll get an HP back, and you'll be up, and you'll be sickly and whatnot. But at this point, Weiss, you're pretty confident. She's out of the woods now. Meanwhile, this figure is standing next to you. I'll go ahead and drop the combat music at this point. He gets up and he calls out to Octavia. He's like, "Give me, what voice I was using? Like, hey, give me a hand, yeah."
Yeah.
As he wants to drag this thing before it falls, drag it out.
I'll go,
So
yeah.
fucking heavy. All right, so the two of you keep this thing from sliding all the way down into it, and it's hot. It's like burning your hands and everything. Ow, ow. But you manage to drag this creature up onto this dead creature, and he's like, "Oh, this is quite a find tonight. Oh, is your friend okay?"
Yeah,
Uh,
she'll be fine.
Yeah, Octavia's still in like her big warforged like goat werewolf form.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just kind of like hunched over it, and she's just her third eye's open, and she's like, I imagine she's like drooling and just kind of like and she doesn't even say anything, and she goes back and she just hulks over Sonenka, and she's just watching her.
Sonica, you open up your eyes, you see this thing, ah! And then you die from shock. Okay.
System strain.
All right. So go ahead and give yourself. I'm not sure if there's a place if there's a checkbox for frail condition or anything on there, but just remember that though. You don't want to go back to 0 HP. That would be bad, and you don't get to recover natural healing. So.
So
rough.
natural healing, and I may look this up, but I'm trying to see if my Master's Vigor will still kick in.
That's an interesting point. I don't know the answer to that question. So your natural vigor is basically you get you recover HP over the course of a couple hours, right?
Yeah, I get 2 lost HP per hour due to my natural restorative powers.
Okay. Well, it says the word natural
Yeah, it sounds
right
natural.
there in the description, but it is one of your arts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have to commit any effort or anything to it? It's just passive.
It's just passive.
A physician can try to remove the frail condition with an hour's work and a skill check at a difficulty of 10.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to do that here in
Yeah.
the middle of this place. You also could just camp out for the night, and Weiss could cast the spell the next day, because I think if you cast the spell the next day, that does get rid of frail. Is that right?
Yeah, that's all I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a question of what you want to do. So,
I think when she comes back, she's probably just going to say, and kind of gesture to this kind of new person.
Like,
What the hell was that?
that thing all there, that's old Bessie. You see that is? No, just kidding. I don't know. It's a fucking giant thing. Like, there's pools like this all over the place underneath the city. And these creatures, they're huge. But they've got their blood. You can use it for things. It's magical.
What does it do?
And so, by the way, you're talking to a person who is literally just black stone. Like, it's just all this guy is like chunky black stone. He's not wearing any clothing whatsoever. He's got like what looks like some kind of like bandolier type belt thing where he's got a series of like tools and things that he has connected, and you see him pulling out various daggers from the back of this thing, throwing the ones that aren't his on the ground, putting his back into like the place where it's got to go. And every now and then you see his eyes just sort of flare as they get they kind of almost glow brightly like the color of this creature's blood. And he just says, yes, lots of things you can do with these if you just break them down into pieces. It's okay, I'll give you some, don't worry. Like, it's all fair, it's just teamwork, yeah, you know. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Meg, by the way. Meg.
Nice to meet you. If you don't mind me asking, I don't know that I've come across anyone who looks quite like you before.
That's a bit strange of a thing to say to a person. And again, we should probably... You guys, like, he speaks Mash, so he's like doing that mix. So when we talk, it's very much like some of it's verbal, some of it's like hand signal stuff, combos of the two. But we're just for our sake, we just talk like this. He's like, it's a bit old thing to say, but yeah, I'm a rarity in these parts. More kind. Yeah.
Do you only live in places like this, I assume? And I meant no offense. I enjoy traveling and meeting different folks. So if I weren't almost dying, I would
you
be
look
quite pleased to
You look
make your acquaintance.
quite terrible. This one over here saved your life. I mean, I saved your life too. I mean, it was going to take you down under easily. But no,
Sounds like I owe you a debt.
I wasn't going to say that, but okay, I'll take it. What do you got to
At the
pay
moment,
off the debt?
not much.
Scrap? Anything?
We were coming here in search of some things, so on the way in, we don't really have
Yeah.
much of anything.
Okay. You don't have anything. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. You say you owe me, and then you got nothing to pay with. Seems odd, but it's fine. It's all right. Go ahead and why don't you sit down, get yourself something to drink.
On the way
Relax a
back
bit.
out, we might have something.
Oh, okay. You think you're going to be able to make it out? It's just like we're 3 steps in and you're almost dead.
This is true.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I kind of
Smoke
get
tunnels
tired.
very dangerous place. Folks like yourselves. Some people come down here, hide. Nice place to hide. Sometimes you get lost down here. I quite like it. Reminds me of my own planet. Warm. Smoky. It's a good place.
So now that Sonenka's been up and kind of like talking and stuff, Octavia kind of just starts to like shrink back to her normal size, but she's still super goaty. So she's got more fur and everything, and she's still like got like her sharp talons and stuff out. And but her personality comes back. She's no longer just kind of like the drool, like I'm gonna kill him.
Nice.
And she's like, Max, my name's Octavia.
Meg, one. Not
Meg,
two, it's just
sorry.
one of me.
Awesome to meet you.
Awesome. Okay, sure. Awesome to meet you too, Octavia. I gotta say, you're already the nicest one of you folk I've ever met.
I've been told I'm a little weird, but
I didn't say weird, I said
my
nice.
parents are just, super strict. But how should we break this down? Like, how can I help you?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, when we want to drain the blood as best we can, get it. You got like I've got pails and such. I didn't expect one this big. Normally, when I get them, they're much smaller. Like this is a big mama. Like I usually get tiny ones, babies and like.
Do you think she's got babies in her tummy or something?
I don't know if she's got them in a tummy, but there might be like more somewhere down there.
Oh.
I fish for them, and they come up and I grab them. But this one, quite big. You gotta be careful. But anyway, yeah, you want to drain the blood. I might not have enough. And then basically, the cotton, you can sell it to some of the scrappers on the surface. They make like armor and stuff out of it, and other things. And decent eating, but I don't know if you all have got the constitution for it. I tend to think that you soft folk don't really eat as well. And like when you're shaking his hand feels like stone. It's like you're literally grabbing stone, but it's like it's somehow like moving. Like you can see his hand, but it's like the most calloused hand you've ever touched in your life. It's ridiculous. But he's like, yeah, you softies. I don't know if you're soft on the outside, soft on the inside. Not sure you can handle it, But it's okay. It's not the greatest meat. It's a little gamey, but
Have you tried like marinating it for a while in it?
No, it's fine for me. I'll eat it, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a different digestive tract system.
Gotcha. Sturdy stock. I got it.
Yeah. Hey, you fella with the bones and things, with the prayers and such. That was quick thinking. You almost got your friend here almost died. That's good. You seem quite capable and such.
Well, you have to when you adventure to these dangerous places.
Yeah. So anyway, what you all doing down here? Why you here to begin with?
Yeah, we're trying to make it to the zone. I forgot what it's called.
Quadra 7.
Yeah, Quadra 7. We're just making our through the smoke tunnels.
Oh, well, that's an interesting route to take. Not the most direct, but okay. You wanted to keep it on the down low, I assume?
Yeah, have you traveled down here far at all?
Oh, I live down here.
How far have you made it?
Oh, all over, really. It's not that bad. It's easy for me. Most people, they always start the water, It gets too hot for them. They get dizzy, start to see things and such. But there's folks like me and some others, We like it down here. It's warm. But, we have been here and there.
Have you run into any like Furkin families?
Furkin down here? No, not really. Can't say. I mean, I've met some before, so but
Because that's what we're looking for. Some of them went missing in Quadrant 7.
well, yeah, they run around down here sometimes, but not here. Like this is,
Yeah.
this is not the best place for them. They'll burn up, I don't want to say that happened to them, sweet little devils. But No, I can't. I'll keep an eye out, of course. But yeah, I'll better be careful moving around here.
Yeah, I better not like just yell next time I see someone. That's and
Yeah, they can hear really well. Like they don't got great eyesight, you know. But it's
yeah.
like they've got this ability. And I knew there was a big one in here, but I didn't realize it was that big. It was way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. I thought, maybe a 7-8 footer, but this one, oh, crikey, it's like 20 feet long. Did I say something funny?
No, this is Ashley. That's not Octavia.
Okay. He turns into Joe Pesci now, like, call me funny. Go ahead, Tom. What are you gonna say?
I was asking if it was safe to camp here.
I suppose you might want to do it a bit away from the lake, just in case. But, I mean, I can't imagine this one bigger than this one, you know. And it goes deep, these lakes. Go deep. I've gone swimming in them sometimes. But very deep indeed. I think I've got a theory, me and me mates, well, mates is a strong word, but whatever, that they're connected. All of those little pools are connected. It's like a big funnel thingy way down under. And they're all connected. I'm proud of that one. I'm sorry. I'm really proud of that one.
Australian.
I'll getting so Australian. And I'll know what's going on.
You're just going down under.
I know one Australian. I'm not going to talk about the rabbit joke that I did. Never mind.
While this conversation is happening,
Okay.
because I can move around right now that I've got one
Yeah, you're
HP.
okay. You're okay now.
Okay.
At this point, it's been definitely been 10 minutes, and you've got your 1 HP back. But you are you've got a big wound in your side. It's been patched up. Weiss has done his best to patch it up, but it hasn't been stitched up or anything.
Oh yeah, I still feel like hell. But I think I see some large chains on the back side of this area.
Are you talking to me about that?
No, to Jeff. Just is that visible to me
Sure, yeah.
from where we are?
Yeah.
Okay. Then while they're having that conversation, I want to hug the edge of this area, getting no more close to the charcoal. But I want to take a look over at those chains.
You want to come over here? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, so you carefully walk over there. As you do, Mag turns to, shit, she's crazy. She's almost dead, and she's walking around all by herself like that. Brave, stupid, maybe.
This is not a quick process. There's definitely limping and pausing for energy and whatnot. But
if she just trips, she might fall into the lake. That's it.
if I stub my toe, that's it.
She's out. She's gone. But yeah, you go over there. There's these massive chains. They're huge. They're heavy. Metal, little rusted. They've definitely seen some wear. But you see pipes. You see huge, heavy industrial chains. The rings themselves are probably as big as you, in terms of length. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna keep going kind of around, circumnavigating the area there. Because I think I spy some bones. I think. But I'm going to keep going.
Okay, so yeah, if you just continue, we don't have to do this it's just, you go around, you do a cycle, but yeah, there's bones.
What kind of bones?
Okay, what do you want to roll? What do you got?
I have...
Skill-wise,
Notice, probably.
You can do a heal, you could do survive. This is more to identify. Notice, I'm not sure if I would... That's just to see that there's bones.
I could do
there.
survive.
Okay, yeah, roll survive.
Whiz?
Yeah, survive whiz is good. DC 8.
No, it's 3.
Not sure. Humanoid, meaning bipedal, but beyond that, no idea. But I also would say much bigger than a Firkin family, and they also would look old, but you wouldn't be able to identify how or what species.
Okay, I'm gonna continue around.
Okay.
all the way around.
No, and you see pipes, you see chains, you see bones. Yeah, you circumvent the whole thing. I mean, there's other ways out of here. I don't want to suggest like you could just head north and like you can.
Oh, no,
leave.
no, no, no. So when I come back around, I just want to ask. So, Mag, do you know what was chained up here?
No idea. I think there's like one of them manufacturing places upstairs somewhere, and he like points up, and you can see that hanging from the ceiling, probably about 60 or 70 feet up, you can see that there's more of these like droopy chain areas. You can see like pipes that are crisscrossing. Some of them are bent. You can see what looks like these massive like circular wheels that are connected to like these other gears. Like there's this extensive amount of machinery up there. And he's like, yeah, there's some sort of manufactory up there, the district. And I don't think they use it anymore. But I don't really look up much, I look down, prefer. But nah, I don't think anything was chained here. I think it was just, they fell. They were up there. Something happened, something broke, earthquake, something like that. Geyser erupted. And then down they fell.
Oh, so that's what the bones are.
Maybe. I mean, I've seen them before. I've never seen meat on them, so they're pretty old. I've been running around in these tunnels for, I don't know, 9-10 years.
Can I do some sort of roll to see if that's an honest response?
Oh, yeah, you want to see if he's lying to you? Wow. Give me charisma and, I don't know, actually, that's a good question. What would we use for that? I mean, convince, maybe?
Yeah, it could be.
I guess we could do convince.
This is gonna go. I am not gonna know anything.
DC 6 for this.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a read on him because he doesn't really have facial expressions. His face is so, like, uniform and, like, steadfast, like it's carved into this black rock. It's hard to get anything from him. But he could have let you die, so I don't know why you're being such a jerk about this, but
Just
right.
assessing my surroundings.
So what do y'all want to do? It's
That took all of my energy, and now I'm laying back down again.
Mm-hmm. He's like, he sees you looking at him all like cross-eyed, and he's like, oh, okay, and he just pushes you into the lake. Do you guys want to rest up? Do you want to move forward? What do you want to do?
We could do some first aid.
Okay.
So by spending a few minutes tending to an ally, a healer can cure 1d6 plus their heal skill and points of damage. If they don't have a heal, they suffer a -1 on the roll. Each application of first aid adds 1 system strain to the target. But it can be repeated as long as the healer wishes and the subject system strain allows.
Mm-hmm. I also think that looking at this as well, Melissa, I think your skill does apply. Your art, because there is a specific subsection called natural healing, and that's from resting.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like the resting heal is what you don't get.
First aid can restore lost HP to a frail PC, but it cannot get rid of the frail quality itself.
All right. So who wants to try to lend first aid to Sonika?
I don't have the heal skill.
Yeah, that'll be me.
All right, go for it. Roll heal and then enter dex, whatever you prefer.
An 11.
That's better.
Wait, is there? Yeah. Hang on a second. By spending a few minutes tending an ally, a healer can cure. Actually, you don't even have to roll a skill check.
Yeah, you just need to roll the 1d6 and then add your heal skill.
Yeah, 1d6 plus heal.
We're just basically giving time, 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. All right. So take 4 HP back.
Nice.
Can I also
and
get some first aid?
You get 1 system strain, by the way, Sonika.
Yeah, let's do another.
And that's a single 10-minute turn or scene is usually sufficient to apply as much first aid as the party wants to apply. So, like, this isn't like a separate scene. This is all kind of happening at once.
Nice.
Okay.
That's efficient.
So, we'll say like an hour.
Another heal, maybe.
We'll say like an hour passes.
Yeah, I can.
Every time you do it, I think you get an extra system strain. Though.
Yeah, I'm going to take 2 strain.
Okay.
No, I think it's me. It's right.
Each such application of first aid adds 1 system strain to the target.
Oh, the
Yeah,
target.
to the
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Hey, I heal for free. Nice.
Okay. So you're feeling a little better, Octavia. You're feeling a little better, Sonica. You definitely feel a little weak still. You definitely, your side is tender where it came up and chomped you and nearly dragged you down into the
You
lake.
have a pretty cool scar.
Yeah.
Can I use that heal test for like a frail removal?
No, frail is a surgery test, meaning like you would be spending essentially time doing a surgery. I think though, like that takes like an hour or something, and you would need to have like a suitable location for it.
Yeah. And it increases the difficulty.
Yeah.
And you only get 1 chance to remove
Right.
frailty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just remember though, Sonica, if you get reduced to 0 HP again while you have frail, you are dead. So just be careful. Okay, I was gonna say, like, if you were to die, we were gonna have you play your brother, and you just two happen to be twins, and that's how we get the
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, good, because like Logan did a great job of like, because you talked about how like you didn't want it to be like obviously like male or female, and it worked out perfectly. They get a bunch of money and make new friends, and the adventure along the way, Logan.
And we have to give up 25% because
That's not my fault. That's Octavia's fault for negotiating that away. So
It
what
would
are
have
you?
been fine. And then Jeff was like, what does Ravala get? 25%?
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
Late in the day.
It hasn't been that long. Like you guys have been, you journey down here. There's still a ton of time left in the day if you want. Like, it's up to you how much you want to move.
I'm okay moving forward.
I think we should spend some time breaking this thing down.
I'm gonna say that while you guys are healing and stuff, that's exactly what he's doing. He'll give you guys, like, we'll split it up. We'll give you guys like 3 bits of plants of animal scrap, and then you'll get, or let's do it the other way around. 9 bits of animal scrap and like 3 jars of charcolodon blood. Okay. All right. So
the party resource thing worked?
it wasn't working. I don't think I updated it yet. So just someone put it in your notes, and we'll update it next time. Hopefully, we just did a big update on Foundry this week. Okay. So Max is like, if you're gonna keep going, just be really careful for them smoke coils. You gotta listen. Really, don't look, because your eyes will play tricks on you. There's smoke everywhere. It's best if you've got something to cover your face. Oh, yeah, you've got mask on. Good, perfect. But you want to make sure that you listen really carefully. If you hear it's like almost like a clicking, or like electrical clicking, like, and he tries to make the sound. No, that's not right. It's not what it sounds, but something like that. One's nearby, and then you just be very careful. If they get themselves around you, it could be lights out for one of you. They'll burn you down to ash, and then they'll eat your ash. Very dangerous, those things. And they sneak up on you. Very hard to see. That's why you gotta listen.
Alright, good to know.
Okay. So anyway, I'm
Where's
just gonna...
your, house at?
Well,
Where's your house at? Yeah.
I don't have a
What if I
house.
want to come, visit you and just, hang out sometime? Maybe go fishing.
You want to go fishing after this event? You want to go fishing with me?
Well, you said you normally get small ones.
Right.
That doesn't sound as terrifying.
Right. Okay. Sure. If you ever need to find me, head back the way you came, and then there's like a little staircase going down. It's over by the geyser. You go down a ways, you find a nice, big, ugly, circly area, and I'm right in there. I've got my bed. I've got a few little odds and ends. I got some of my trophies from all the hunts and the fishing down here.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you. It was nice meeting you, Mag.
Just be careful. I set up lots of trips and stuff.
I mean, I would do you have like a door I can knock on that doesn't like activate traps so you know I'm here?
No, just look out for him, you know?
Okay. Keep things spicy. I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, good to meet you. Again, he's like 3 feet tall, so you're like
Yeah.
towering over him. He's like, nice to meet you. Okay. You hang in there, you three. Especially this one over here. He points over at Sonica. Don't go falling into no lakes of lava. Okay. And
And you kind of get that, person with like a ribbonry who like starts to laugh. And it's like, no, jokes.
you see him reach and
jokes.
he just like rips like a organ out or something. He's like, oh, let me go see through all that. Okay, boy. Okay. So you guys head out. You move on from there. No problem. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do like a little, it's like I was talking to you about, I want to do like a little bit of like a delve type thing. I love this game Heart and this mechanic's called Delve, where it's not quite a dungeon crawl, but it's not quite a hex crawl, somewhere in between. And that's what we're going to kind of do now. So you guys head north out of this area away from the lake. You notice along the way as you're traveling through a mixture of like rock area and dust and debris, but also there's tons of places where it's just like metal walkways that you're moving across. There's like pipes that you're balancing on. One or two times you like take a chain and you swing across to the other side, connecting two walkways. And you're just moving around a bit underneath here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a kind of a delve, so like a skill challenge if you're familiar with like 4th edition stuff. And so basically what this means is I'm going to present as we're traveling and you're trying to discover where you're going. I'm going to throw out a little challenge or event. You guys tell me, one of you tells me how they use a skill to tackle it, right? So that's basically it. And we'll go from there. So after you guys find this long, like slow flowing river, almost like a sewer trough, about 30 feet below you. You guys swing across looks like a broken metal walkway, but there's a chains that are just there in perfect position. Occasionally you see like these little things spout up out of the ground, and like this rock goes hurtling through the air, almost comes up and hits you, but you guys get away from it. You move forward through this winding, spirally descending, not staircase, but like a ramp. And you can tell that it was a ramp that's been planed, meaning it's flat and smooth as you curl downwards. It's not naturally made. And as you get down to the bottom, you notice there is this room down here that sort of blocks your way forward. You can see on the far side, about 50 feet away, there's this archway with some kind of, you're not sure exactly what it is, but it's some kind of engraving above the top. It's like ancient language. People have seen it. No one's really been able to interpret that stuff to yet. There's some scholars in the Cabochon who've been working on it for a while, but I would say none of you are probably familiar with it. But you notice that in between you and the exit, there's this swirling bit of debris, and you notice along the left and right hand side of the room and above in the ceiling and then on the ground, there's all these different spinning fans, and some of them are functional, some of them aren't. And you can see that there's debris and there's rock that keeps getting swirled around to the point where like any kind of movement across might risk you kind of getting smashed in the head or in the face by what looks like a giant chunk of rock or some metallic debris, or what looks like the carcass of a long dead creature that's been scavenging around down here. But you're confident that the only real way forward, clear way forward, is that archway across the 50 feet little storm down here. So what do you guys want to do to try to bypass
How
this?
close are those industrial fans you're talking about?
Yeah, there's a bunch on
reachable, or
yeah, you can probably reach some on the sides, and you can go over. There's like 3 on the left side, and they're fairly huge, and there's like 3 on the right side of the room. The one in the bottom, like in the floor, you probably couldn't get to without plunging into that giant whirl. But you can probably get to the first of the set of fans on the left and onto the right.
Yeah, I'd like to find a way, maybe jam something in there, break them up so they stop spinning.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple ways we can go about this. Like when we do these types of things, you could tell me what you want to roll. Like if there's a specific skill you're looking to specifically use. If not, I can just throw one out there. But if you're looking to jam something in there, that means you're probably looking to find like a loose piece of debris nearby that you could potentially do it. So we can roll a notice. Or we could just say in the fiction there is one, and this is more about a strength test or to move it, or just an intelligence test to figure out like how to jam it in there appropriately. So there's lots of different ways that we could solve this task by trying to jam the fan. You just tell me what you would prefer to try to do.
And actually, if Vice says that out loud, Sonenka had earlier picked up a lever that could be used as a club.
Okay.
So, Vice, if you say out loud that you're looking for something to jam, I can pull out that lever and see if that's kind of what you're thinking.
That is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So I'll say, we can do like an exert.
Okay.
Like jam it in there.
Yeah. So roll an exert, strength exert, to see if you can jam this in there. I'm gonna say since you already found it at DC 6, and it, okay, you go and you jam the lever in, and it sticks for a second, and you think you got it, and all of a sudden you hear a horrible grinding sound as the fan continues to spin, and it sucks the lever through it and disappears. So what happens is when you fail a test, there's some sort of setback or penalty. One of those penalties could be you lose an item. In this case, it makes perfect sense that you probably lose that lever. Suck it. You lose that lever. That's what I give everybody a lever in the game. The old joke of ours, like a long time ago, a D&D game. There was just a place filled with levers. So you still, yeah. So how else do you guys want to try to bypass and get to the other side of this room?
Sonenka might kind of re-up Savage Senses.
Mm-hmm.
It's committing effort, Beastmaster effort as an on-turn action. Gain a +2 bonus on all notice skill checks involving sight, sound, or smell. So what I'm trying to look for is, if there's like anywhere to walk where some of this debris doesn't seem to be hitting as often, kind of where the fans are directed.
That makes perfect sense. You just like you can safely sit and stand at the base of this ramp and even get up close to the first pairing of fans before you're really in any of that danger. So you can stand and watch this thing for a while and really try to map out the room and maybe find a safe route. Roll Notice Wiz. Is that okay? Notice Wiz? Is that what you're thinking?
Yep. Yeah, sorry. I still had it on Charisma, which I definitely don't want to do.
So a Notice and Wisdom.
9.
Very good. So what I'm doing, so a lot of these rules I'm messing with is a little skill challenge stuff, but it's also this game called Heart, which has like different resistances, and that's kind of what we're using here. So what I'm gonna say is each of the, like whenever we do something like this, like a delve has like a resistance that abstractly refers to how difficult and how long it's going to take to get through it. And so your successful rolls, half of that is basically gonna whittle away on the damage of it, whittle away on it. So like the higher the rolls you have, the better. Like not only do you pass the check, but you pass it really well, and you're gonna be able to make some really good progress. As it's possible you could have backtrapped all the way back up, which means looking for a completely different path, hopping back over to the that little river of like whatever that was below, and maybe even making it all the way back to where Mag was. But being able to bypass this weird kind of ventilation room, you're able to make it through and deal a significant portion of take a little bit of time off of your trek.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to the other side, and you realize like on the other side there's another one of these long spiraling smooth, again, not staircases, but ramps that just spiral down for another 40, 50, 60 feet maybe. Like you guys are so far underneath the surface of Big Husk that you can start to you almost can feel it, especially those of you who are not maybe used to being underground. Like you can almost start to feel like a sense of claustrophobia sort of begin to settle in on you. Feel it on your shoulders and your senses a bit. It's very dark down here. You lose any sort of sight as a lot of these small pockets of that molten charcoal lit rocks that had been giving you some sight up until this point have really gone away, and mostly what you're seeing now are these empty hallways of old tech. and like paneling that seems to be metal. You can tell someone's been through here before probably and scraped away what looked like anything that might have been useful fixtures. But eventually you make it to what looks like this this fairly large chamber. It's octagonal, and when you put your feet on the ground, you can actually hear this echo, this little clicking of a click as your boots hit the ground, your heels, and it cascades through. And right as you do, you hear like a noise give off, almost like a, and then in the middle of the room, this red light erupts from what looks like some kind of light fixture in the ceiling and bathes the entire chamber, which is probably about 100 feet in diameter, in red light. And you can see that there are a variety of these platforms that are hovering off the ground by about a foot or two, and they're kind of humming with some kind of energy. And that's when you realize that you don't think it was your foot going down that actually caused this. As you see behind these small floating platforms that stuff has been stacked on top of them, you see 2 millidrones, a defrag squad, clattering about. You can see one of them has crawled up the side of the ceiling, and a millidrone, by the way, is like a robotic centipede, essentially, with a humanoid front, almost like a centaur. And you can see it clattering along the side, and like they're soldering and digging into what looks like some ancient paneling. It doesn't look like they've noticed you yet. They didn't abruptly turn around to look at you, and then the light goes off again, and then moments later it goes on. So it looks like every couple of moments that red light's coming in. But you have these defrag squad in this room, and you know that if you're caught down here, that could be bad. How do you want to get across or circumvent this problem?
You said in between the red light and the noise, the room goes fairly black?
Yeah, it's just, I wouldn't say it doesn't go black, but like there's definitely some light that they're giving off. That looks like they have some kind of floodlight attachments built into some of their segments. But since it's about 100 foot across, like there's definitely big dark spots whenever the red light goes off.
So maybe we can use like those dark spots as cover as
Okay.
we're going across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like take some time to like time out the lights and maybe plan a route that we're gonna stealthily go.
Yeah. That sounds like a great plan. It's just you guys tell me who wants to do the role, who wants to kind of set
Maybe
this
like a
task.
Dex sneak.
It can be dex sneak, sure. Like if you want to do it as sneak, that's fine. If you want to do it this more as a kind of a calculated type situation, and we can say it's int sneak. Like there's a lot of flexibility to how you want to do it. It's just you guys tell me.
We just definitely don't want them to notice us.
Correct. Number one goal.
You can do int sneak. You can do do dex sneak if you just think it's just to physically lead them. If int sneak makes sense if you're just trying to time everything perfectly and find the perfect angles, because now you're using your brain as opposed to using your physical ability. Even notice could be potentially used here if you don't want to rely on your sneaking skills and you want to instead use your assessment of the area skills.
It's all pretty similar, so I'll just go with the Dex sneak.
Okay, go ahead and roll dex sneak DC 6.
Oh no.
Wow, man.
Oh my god.
As you start to move across, you take the lead and you go from shadow pocket to shadow pocket, and you think you have the red light pulsing timed really well, and it's not that you mistime it. It's just that as you're waiting behind one of these floating storage platforms, you just get a little lax in some of your movement. When the light goes off, you try to make a dash for it, and as you do, you knock over what looks like a toolbox of some kind, or some sort of large metal container that clatters all over the ground. And these melodronic defrag squads turns right back and they see you, and you can get these two huge floodlights. Octavia, Sonica, you see this as Weiss is literally caught on each side by these lights, and you can hear them communicate with one another, but they communicate like in this weird binary like beeping pattern that isn't really something most people know how to speak. So unless one of you has that language, you're not sure what they say to one another. One of them approaches you. You have a choice here at this point. Like, Weiss, you could try to just run past and take some damage from them as they try to take you down to like trap you, or you can turn around and run away, and in doing so add more to the delve, meaning like you guys have to turn back and find a different route.
I'll just run forward.
Okay, so you're just gonna take it. Okay, so this basically you burst through, and in doing so, since they're focusing on Weiss, it allows Sonica and Octavia. You two can get across because they seem to be so focused on Weiss as he's like running from one side to the next, lights going on and off, and they're gonna get a shot at you though. It's gonna be, hang on.
So Nenka's definitely going to be selfish and just stick to the shadows and try to stay alive.
Oh no, you guys are fine. It's only the person who, like, you guys.
I just mean if we were going to be good party members and go assist.
Take 5 points of damage.
All right.
What's that put you at?
6.
Okay, so you make a mad dash, and it looks like one of them shoots some kind of laser beam out of one of its upper segments, like right off the shoulder, and you just see, and it comes and it cuts through like the back of your leg. You feel like this weird numbness. You don't feel blood or anything. It's just like your leg just goes horribly numb, and you hear a crack as it gives out. But you manage to scramble up. The red light goes off. Everything goes dark. You scramble behind what looks like some other container. Their floodlights are going this way and that. You can actually hear Octavia and Sonica kind of like whisper yelling at you from the other side of the room, and you just follow their voice for a few moments. You get over to them, you hide again, the light comes back on, and they're still looking for you. And you make it across the other side of the room. Leg is sort of in pain. It's like they were numbing you. They were trying to numb you down, but in trying to move roughly while your leg was numb, like you hear a crack. But you're okay. So you make it to a different path, and you move around, and you realize you're starting to move up again. So like there's what looks like this rocky. It's like it looks like this is the ruins of a place that fell through from the ceiling. Like it looks like whatever was above here fell completely through, and you have debris of all sorts of these different structures. And you start to do the math in your head. And you think you've kind of crossed over into a quadra area because you can almost see about 300 feet above what looks like stars. And it's through this hodgepodge of like pipes and debris and like netting of some kind, concrete, rocky growth, some kind of vegetative like algae pattern. And as you continue to move forward, you can see that there's this shaggy-haired woman, like at the base of what looks like this giant stalk of trash. And she's just kind of talking to herself. She's in an alcove straight ahead, and you can see like 3 feet off to her left, there's a crack like in the wall. It looks like it's kind of going in relative direction that you want to head. And you can see that she's just like, there's just a swarm of gray beetles, and you realize quickly that she is talking to the beetles. She's literally just, and like the beetles are, and each beetle is probably the size of a fist. And you can see that the swarm of these things is so large that it doesn't just encompass her alcove, but they spill out and they're like blocking the way into that crevice. What do you guys want to do?
Can we tell what the type of beetles they are?
Okay. Is that, so you want to do this skill? So you want to do this as like try to identify
Well,
the
like
species?
before I'm wondering if that's something I can do before the delve.
No, because like it's going to be the skill. It's a skill test, so you're just doing a
Okay.
skill test. So whatever skill test you roll is going to be the thing that you do to try? So you could say like theoretically you could say we want to try to identify them, and by identifying them, hopefully that gives you an idea on how to distract them or something like that.
Got it. Okay.
Which is perfectly valid way to go about this.
Are you good with no?
No, no would make sense here, I would say.
I have a -1 and no.
Okay. And when we say no, everybody, KNOW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shorter the better for my heart. Anybody else? Weiss is gone. He's tried to do some stuff. Sonika's tried to do some. Who hasn't actually tried to roll a test yet for one of these?
Octavia.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one.
I'll take a survive. I know you have survive, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, roll survive was
7.
okay. That's good. Six
Cool.
is what I would want. So yeah. You're not sure if they have like a specific like biological name, but you know that they're considered concrete beetles, and so and they call them that because they like termites eat wood. These beetles devour concrete.
Okay.
And so like anything that's made of concrete, anything that's made of cement, it burrows through them and it eats them. It's one of the reasons like that people don't know if they're naturally gray, or it's just like the dustiness of devouring the different cement patterns is what causes them to be gray. And as you watch, like you can see that she's flicking into like these little chunks of this massive group of this swarm, little tiny blocks, almost like she's throwing and feeding ducks at a lake. And she's just throwing them down. They're swarming over it, and it looks
Octavia would do something similar then. Like if there's like concrete wall next to us, I'll kind of like chisel some off, and I'd be like, I too also like to feed the beetles.
Okay.
And all.
Yeah. And so you throw some on the ground, and the beetles you throw it away from the door, from that crevice in the wall, and they clear out. And the woman sees you do it, and she kind of looks up, and you can see that she's got the most disturbing face. Like her head is kind of crooked. She's human, you think. Her hair is ratty. One of her eyes is like white. The other one is kind of turned inward, and she's kind of looking up at you. And she's like, I like to feed them too. And she does one of those like Silence of the Lambs things, and you realize maybe not hang around and linger too much.
Yeah, Octavia just kind of like stands like in front as she like moves Sonenka behind her, and she's like just kind of waves them forward. Well, good day, ma'am. And
okay, and so you guys get across just fine. Okay, and you roll a 7. Okay. So you're in kind of a rocky terrain for a bit until you see up in front of you, and it's mostly, but just you kind of lose sight for a while of any signs of like structure of like construction for a bit, and it's just sort of rock walls, rock floors. Periodically, you'll see like piping coming out of the walls that'll remind you that you are literally beneath a city somewhere. And you find your way through almost an identical crevice-like break in the wall, and you realize you are now in some kind of vestibule area. Off to your left, staircases go up, but they look more like escalators. They're not functioning, but they look like escalators. That's how we would recognize them. You see that there's some kind of large, almost like a fountain area, like this like circular, circular display. And as you come out of this fissure crevice area, you can hear these lights just begin to come on, and these splotchy like shapes begin to start moving around in the area. You hear like this distant muted music, and after the last time you guys interacted with like these holographic shapes, I would feel like you guys are probably a little shaky on this, but like to get to those stairs to go up, you basically have to go through what looks like some kind of holographic display around a fountain. And you're seeing the same shapes that you saw when you're out in the Waste Districts, those moon gorillas. That's not what they are, but that's what we're calling them for now. What do you guys want to do?
oh god. I really don't want another moon gorilla in my body.
Gotta eat more fiber then. Gotta poop it out.
Oh, remember Octavia tried to make peace with it?
Mhm.
I am willing to share this vessel with you.
Maybe that's what worked. And you're still here, aren't you? You're still thinking. Octavia's still herself. I don't know.
To our knowledge.
So how do you guys get across this? How do you guys cross this vestibule area, this opened area, get to those stairs and go up?
We could like watch for like a pattern again to see if there's like an area that we could safely maneuver through, like if there's because the other ones like ran on a loop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
Or
one
we
seems
could-
a little, I would say this one does seem a little more irregular. Like it just almost seems like it's redisplaying.
Because when we broke one of the lights, that was when it entered my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that idea.
Transform into moon gorilla powered. Okay. Okay, so you want to just gonna try to do notice, and you're looking for a pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's gonna be a higher DC though, because this one actually is irregular. Like this doesn't have the same sort of timing that some of the other ones have. So this is actually gonna be a DC 8 if you go notice whiz. On this.
I really should not be the one to roll this because remember, I have like 8 wisdom.
Moon gorillas might be didn't they?
How about like just exert Constitution? Like let's just run through it.
Absolutely.
Disregard.
Yeah, you just work up the courage and you just run and like almost close your eyes, but not too closed. Yeah, DC 6 for that, just to burst through. And hope for the best. Weiss.
Nice.
9.
Okay, so he turns around and Weiss just like, screw this, and you just run. And as you guys do, you see that his whole body gets coated in the light as he passes through. You see this bright outline to him as he runs, but he makes it through to the other side. And even though like the holographic projection like really disrupts at that point, and you can even see the light change color, he gets through. And as far as you can tell, nothing happened to him. So presumably the two of you follow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to write down, and they followed Weiss through the holographic stuff. Okay. All right. And you rolled a 9. That's a good roll. Okay. All right. So at this point, you guys are pretty confident. You are firmly beneath Quadra 7. Like every now and then you see again a cut in the roof of these caverns. You've been slowly progressing back upwards. Sometimes downwards, but for the most part, you feel like you're maybe about half as sunken as you were when you were by the lake with Mag. And you eventually get to a smoky cavern of some kind. I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys over, and you start to notice that there's these like roots coming out of the walls here and there. You see a ton of concrete. You think at first that the walls that you're passing by are like rock, but then you realize as you get a little bit closer to them that they are not in fact rock, but instead look a little bit more like broken down concrete. You can even see like these striations where like something was punched in and punched out of them. Let me go ahead and activate it so I can bring you all over. There you go. So you have completed the delve, or inaugural delve.
Woo! We made it.
And you guys, yeah, you see like a path moving forward. You can see the ground is partial like dirt and rock, but it looks more like residue from like this ridiculously long time since anybody's, really functionally been down here doing anything of note. But you see these walk patterns here, and then up ahead, you notice that there's a walkway that seems to connect like the left side to the right side, and every so often you see this flickering blue pattern move across it, like a person. And that's well up in front. What do you guys want to do? You can move a little bit, and then I'll tell you what you see, or you guys, there's something you're looking for specifically, I can tell you that too. You tell me.
Didn't Mag say something about listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead and roll a noticed whiz. So you're specifically listening for like clicking and electrical.
A 6.
You don't hear anything. You don't
Oh,
hear any.
God.
You don't hear anything like that. There is some smoke in here. It's not as heavy as it was in that initial room, but there's some.
Well, I don't hear anything, so I'll move forward.
Okay. So you move forward a bit. You can go ahead and just move your character as far as you want to go. Okay. You can
Okay.
see off to the east a ways. There are these small sections that you can kind of. I'm pinging it here. But there are these small sections where you see like these some sort of crystal formations in the base, like bursting out of the concrete in a way. And they're glowing, this like kind of pulsating purple glow. And you also see up above you, where I just pinged, there's this walkway that seems to connect whatever concrete structure is on your left to whatever concrete structure is on your right.
I would like to roll to see if I can like notice like maybe like survival, like hunt down like furkin tracks.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
What attribute?
I'll
would
say
you
it's survive, and wisdom is pretty standard for this.
Okay.
I think.
Can I assist before she does that?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll for assist, and she can take a bonus.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
Survive, whiz. Okay. All right, so that's a 10 between the two of you. You do, in fact, actually notice in the ground, not obviously on the metal sections, but on these dirty, kind of caked up layers of almost residue from the concrete structures that you're kind of weaving between. You do notice that there are what look like these it almost looks like nonsense, right? It almost just looks like a bunch of little tiny marks in the ground, but you guys would be familiar enough to know that yeah, these look like furkin tracks, and they seem to be heading eastward, like they're following this path. There is, as you move forward, you realize a turn off to the south, to the right, and then there's also this path that goes further to the east.
But the tracks are leading east.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would say follow the track.
Okay. So go ahead and move up a ways.
I want to check out the glowing rocks.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
those are about.
All right. So, yeah, just move forward, and you'll.
I wanna, cause you mentioned there was like the blue thing.
Sorry, I moved you too far. Yeah. So like, I'm just gonna move you a little bit so you guys can get a better view of what I'm talking about.
I wanna. What is that?
Okay. What is what?
What is the?
All right. Just lost connection to the server really quick. There we go. All right. So you guys notice like up above you, this is probably a good 25 to 30 feet above you, Octavia. But you see moving across the walkway, you see what looks like some sort of blue light in the shape of a individual, a person of some kind.
Would you say similar to the projected people that entered my body?
It looks nothing like that now.
Okay.
Roll a notice whiz. This is for something else, just to see if you can identify what it might be.
10.
Wow, the 10. Yeah, you look up and you can tell that they look very much like your friend Vice, Krastakarin.
Oh.
You can tell like there's like this large bone structure protruding out from the back of their head. Then as you continue to watch, you notice another one start to move across, while the first one moves back the other way, and you can see it just becomes like this irregular movement of these figures of light moving across, and they go out of sight. I know you guys can see it a little bit on the screen, but you do see them going out of sight from time to time. As you with a 10, you notice that the other one looked to be actually human, and then you also notice there's a door down here. You can barely see the top of the door. You never see the door open or close, but you do see these figures move. And then the last thing I'll say is, as you watch Vice move forward and he starts investigating one of these formations of crystal, you do notice that there's a pipe a little bit in front of him where you watch... there's something like standing on top of it, so I'm going to move you forward so you can see it. You can see like there's this thing that just keeps kind of flickering in and out.
Okay.
This like kind of yellowish light, and as you get kind of close to it, it completely like just disappears.
Okay.
Vice, you come up to this formation, and you notice that it's literally burst out from the concrete wall. And when you peel away some of the debris, you can see that it's growing from far inside and below, as if it's just been working its way up and bursted out here. You can chip away, and it's literally crystal, and like you can chip them away. It's got these hard edges to them, kind of a flickering purple light to it. But you think that the actual entirety of the formation goes deep and down, and you notice a couple more to the north side. You kind of peek at those, and it's the same issue.
So when you chip them off, does it still glow?
Mm-hmm. It does indeed.
Nice. Maybe I'll take a couple shards of them.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll say we'll do a D6 worth. There we go. 3. Let's take 3. You got 3 shards. Three good solid shards. And kind of fractured elsewise. Sonika, what are you doing?
Probably trying to get around the... I want to continue to follow the little footsteps and see if they're anywhere near the pipe.
Yeah, you see they continue to move in an easternly direction. They just continue to move in that direction. Yep.
Okay. Then I'll take a little side trip and poke my head into the pipe.
You poke your head into the pipe?
Okay. I would like to listen for snow.
Just kidding.
For
you gotta do
regardless.
that. You gotta do that sometimes. The GM's like, you poke your head into the pipe. You open the door. What? You just do that every now and then. Just gotta.
You just open.
You gotta
the door?
You gotta keep you honest. You know, like you open the door. What?
My stress levels when Jeff
I
starts
know.
asking questions.
Log was like, I inspect the crystal thing. I'm like, you inspect the crystal. Okay, yeah, you look into the pipe and you're like hit with like, oh god, it smells awful inside. And you see what looks like some sort of dead carcass. Oh, that was fun.
What size?
Maybe the size of a cat or a dog.
Okay, is that firkin sized?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah. Yeah. Do you climb inside to try to pull it out?
Does it require? Is the distance one that requires climbing in?
How tall are you?
Reaching.
How tall are
I
you?
have no idea.
It's about 5 feet longer than you are tall.
Okay.
Could I
Sure.
just like get like a branch and try and like drag it in or drag it out?
What's up?
Could we just use like a branch to like reach in and try to like pull it out?
Sure.
I'm trying to think which would be quieter.
Oh.
So guys, while you guys are doing this, you see this small yellow creature, probably the size of Mag, just come out of nowhere, just right out of the smoke, and it just starts flickering in front of you, flickering in and out, in and out. and it just sort of cocks his head briefly, looks in your direction, and then it disappears.
Before it disappears, can I wave?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It didn't react to that at all.
No, roll a dex to see if you can do it fast enough. No, it did not react yet.
I will do it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you grab a branch, you reach in, you drag it out, and you see that it's not a firkin. It's not a firkin. It looks like some sort of mole-like creature. Thank you for that gift sub there, old man Logan. Thank you, man. So you get it.
Does it look like it?
It looks like it's been constricted.
Okay.
The body's
that's what I
been
was wondering.
broken. Yeah. You can see like little burn marks on it too. But it's unfortunately dead.
Can I listen for the smoke monsters?
Yeah, go ahead.
What was that?
Notice whiz.
Notice was.
What do you want to do, Vice?
I'll just move along.
Okay, just move your token, however long you want to far, however far you want to
Oh,
move. excuse me.
jeez, 2.
You hear some
Nice.
ticking coming from inside Vice's face. You might want to shoot him.
I can hear my own heartbeat. I've
You
just
know,
become self-aware.
Young hearts beat fast. Moving down the road.
Oh no.
Sorry. That's why I've been watching Cobra Kai. Okay. So a couple things, Vice, that you notice. You notice up ahead, there's 2 things of interest to you. One, there looks to be something in the ground, like a hatch, and there also looks to be a break in the wall. This concrete wall to the right. You try to mess with the hatch. It looks like it's literally, you've probably seen these elsewhere in the city at times. These hatches, like these kind of utility hatches, if they've been rusted and they've been there a long time, they're sometimes hard to open up. But yeah, there's one right here.
Just gonna open it up, or if I can.
Okay, roll a strength exert, DC 10. This is very old.
Can I assist?
It's too late, unfortunately. As he goes to, and you pop the wheel, as you feel the metal just break, and you come stumbling back and fall on your ass, and in your hands you have like this metal circular wheel that's been broken off. You guys had some tools, which I don't think any of you have the proper tools. Any of you have like kind of craft or engineering tools or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm a crafter, so I have things.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. You go ahead and you can you mess around. You can, it would take you a little time to sort of try to do some repairs or break through the seal, but you probably could do it. And then there's the hole in the wall. I would also say, rolling over your notice whiz test, you do notice that there appear to be little tiny footprints that head through the break in the wall to your right, to the east.
Is there another like pipe right here?
Yeah, but that one looks to have some kind of metal vertical bars in front, and there's like some sort of exhaust tray underneath. You also notice that to the south of you, Octavia, there's a pit, and at the bottom of it there are several bodies. And by bodies I mean like bones and things. It kind of has the feeling to you of like a animal den.
Is it super smoky?
Oh, it's pretty smoky around here for sure.
But like is it like concentrated here at all?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna move away from that.
Okay. So Vice, it's gonna probably take you somewhere around a half an hour to 45 minutes to be able to kind of break through this with your tools if you want to hang around and try to do that, or if there's something else you guys want to do instead, like if you want to follow the tracks, it's fine too.
Yeah, I'll hang around here if they want to search around.
Okay, you're gonna be here by yourself. Okay, they're gonna go and leave you alone. Sonica and Octavia, what do you guys want to do?
I do kind of want to peek up this way, but like I don't want to
Sure.
totally leave ice.
If you go peek that way, do you go peek that way or not?
Yeah, I
she's
like
there.
come up to like here-ish.
You notice that there are, to the north of you, there looks to be a hole in the ground. There's some kind of orange liquid coming out of these pipes that seem to be kicking out of the side, but they're stacked in such a way that it actually looks like they're fairly easy to climb. And it could potentially get you up to the same level where that walkway was, where you were seeing those blue figures move across. And it's also the same direction that you see these tiny little firkin feet going towards.
Okay, so then I'll keep that in mind, and then I'll just come and wait on Vice.
Okay.
And like let them know, like, hey, I saw the tracks like went up this like cool thing.
All right. So do you just hang around here for 45 minutes while Vice tries to open this?
Sanenka?
I'm okay with waiting. I wanted to take a peek at some of those, the outgrowth of like the roots.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of examine that.
What for?
Just, what is it?
They're just plants
it
of some
look?
kind. Some sort of, like, they don't look, there's not a lot of dampness to them. So you're not exactly sure what they are, but you break them in half and you can see that there's some kind of like pasty orange residue on the inside. Not sure
Oh.
what it's for. It could be something worth grabbing a sample of and bringing it to Vice's friend to see if it's worth anything.
I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
grab some.
Sure. Okay. Vice, go ahead. I'm not going to make you roll again, but if you hang up, but I am going to roll one other thing though. Don't worry about it. You guys are so fucking lucky. You 45 minutes go by and you don't, nothing, no one comes. You don't see anything. Occasionally that little kind of yellow thing pops up and like flickers into existence and then disappears again. But you break this open and you see what looks like a ladder going down into darkness. And you look and you have no idea how far deep it goes.
Do we want to go down, or do we want to follow the Firkin footprints?
I just spent 45 minutes opening this, so I'm gonna drop a crystal shard to see.
Okay. Yeah, you drop the crystal shard and you hear clink, 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 clink. A couple 100 feet, maybe 200 feet. We'd probably guess.
God.
All right, I'm gonna start it down. That's where I'm going, guys.
Okay. So you start climbing down the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soninka looks at Octavia and sort of just shrugs her shoulders
Okay.
and follows
All right.
down.
Octavia.
It's like, did we forget about like the ghost snakes? Like, does it seem extra smoky down there? Like,
I mean, no more so than anywhere else.
oh God. I guess we're doing this.
So Vice opens up this hatch,
Oh,
ignores the small little firkin tracks heading north towards those pipes, starts climbing down the ladder. Frail Sonika, who is literally, like 7 HP from death, climbs down afterwards. Octavia looks around a little bit. That flickering little yellow creature pops into existence.
does it like shake its head
No.
at me? Okay.
No.
'Cause I didn't know, like,
Please,
don't fuck with
you're
me like
looking for a
that.
sign.
And then you start to climb down, and you're about 10 feet down, Octavia, as you're the last one to enter. As you look up, and you can see that the head is that yellowish creature, and then you see its face, and these big mouth with these big teeth just grins, and then reaches its arm back and slams the hatch shut. And that's where we're going to end for this evening, so I can prep the stuff that's below. Okay.
Oh, Vice.
Oh boy. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to tempt you. I try to put a couple things here and there I might be able to tempt you guys with. But yeah, I like it. It's cool. It's fun. Well,
Actually, you're totally right with me. Like, wait, what? Oh, okay.
oh boy. Oh man, that was fun. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to tempt you guys or not, but I did. I was able to do it. We will find out next week where this ladder goes.
Nice.
I know where it goes. Let's see. There's a giant den of like charcolodons. Tons of them.
No.
There's the father. This is gonna become just a series of Jaws
Killed
movies.
my mother.
Charcolodon 2 or Charcolodon the Revenge.
It's just next thing we know, we're gonna have like a Sharknado of Charcolodons.
Oh, that's an idea right there. Just a swirling thing.
Swarm of charcolodons.
Okay, so let's see. What else are we doing? Oh, in an hour, Ashley and I are going to be over on Defenders of Cobalt as we're playing some Tiny Cthulhu. So if you want to come check that out, which is like a kind of a incredibly rules light Call of Cthulhu style of game. So it's that kind of thing. Is we're playing investigators doing something, whatever Chuck's cooking up over there. Tomorrow night, I'll be over on Steam Steel Murder playing Shadowrun. Monday, we'll be back on our own channel. Melissa and I will be playing Things from the Flood. Next Friday, we'll be back, all four of us, including our friend Derek, playing Delta Green. And on Saturday next week, we will see what new characters these three people are going to have to roll and kind of go from there. We'll see. It should be fun. Other than that, go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you want to get any kind of announcements whenever we change schedules or whenever stuff comes up on YouTube. If you missed one of our previous shows, we've got lots of stuff over on YouTube in addition to the Worlds Without Number games we're running, stuff that we ran over the past couple of months. We have it up there. So Mutant Year Zero, Vaesen, Electric Bastionland, lots of different games that we do. Check out, Melissa just dropped the link in the channel. Check out Old Man Logan, his Instagram. He's got some wonderful art up there. He just did the tokens for us. It's what you see underneath every one of these players' faces. And soon they will probably have to order a whole extra round, as I was this close to getting Melissa tonight. But thank you for all of you who hung out. Thank you for those of you who are watching later on VOD or on YouTube. But we'll be back again soon. I'm going to go ahead and put us on the end screen, and I'm going to do a little raid here to see if there's anybody up that we know. Looks like there's a couple options. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a raid. And have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.